Hey all, this is the Rob Zone. I just got done watching the latest Scream movie called Scream 7, and man did I have some things to talk about. Let's get into it. But I'm going to touch on some positives. The idea of Sidney Prescott and her daughter named Tatum Evans, fighting together and with a family to stop Ghostface and all that stuff. Is a pretty cool idea. Second thing is some of the gore effects are actually pretty damn awesome. It does have some intense moments, and I do like how they actually did something with the Sidney Prescott character. Let's move on to the negatives. Now that I touched on the characters, let's talk about the negatives, shall we? Oh yeah! This movie has some serious fucking ass problems. Start from small and we're gonna work our way up. Oh yeah. First of all, it feels artificial. I mean, it doesn't look like a Scream movie. It doesn't have any of that self-aware humor that fans come to expect. I mean, what the fuck? The opening scene was pretty god-awful. We're gonna get into the nostalgia. How they handled when they were walking around the Ghostface house and stuff, and let's say, and then looking around see what people were murdered over there and stuff, and then the boyfriend and girlfriend in that movie got killed, and it's a pretty terrible way to open a Scream movie. The last Scream movie, Scream 6, when the girl in Scream 6, the opening one, got killed, I mean, you expected, to cut to Scream, but no. It just, has the red thing and just opens the mask, and the guy in the fridge in the apartment got killed, and it cuts to the opening. That was a cool way to subvert your expectations. This movie, however, does it very fucking poorly. It starts out, recreating the iconic bedroom scene from Scream 1 with Billy Loomis climbing through Sidney Prescott's bedroom window, only here with Tatum and everything. When Sidney Prescott knocked on the door, it's like Sidney Prescott's dad. The thing about this movie is that this movie like jacking off on nostalgia and shit, nostalgia jizz all over. And then the boyfriend, I don't fucking know his name, which comes out and stuff, and Sidney Prescott forces him to leave, and then we got introduced to the husband character, Mark, which I know a character named Mark from Scream 3, but is it me or he just got recast from Patrick Dempsey to Joel McHale, which seems pretty weak. Tatum and her friends were going to the theater play, for the drama and audience and everything. And then when Sidney Prescott opens the coffee shop, and when she saw this thing called a Stu Mocker, I thought it was real and thinking no. The only reason why all this deep fake bullshit that happens in Scream 7 is because they just cover up the fact that the movie is such dog shit that it's hey, remember him? Try getting through that when we get through almost 2 hours of this bullshit. They called the cops, and the theater scene is actually really effective though. I'll give it that. I mean, when Ghostface stabs Hannah, when Hannah goes through and he holds the knife and it just slices through, I was thinking, whoa, what a cool kill scene. Too bad it could have been in a better fucking movie than this. And then a few moments later, the police swept Sidney Prescott's house and stuff. And then when we got to the when they were hiding from Ghostface from coming from the attic, this is potentially intense scene. Too bad they fucked it all up when Ghostface got ran over. I was thinking, whoa! I thought it was the only Ghostface killer. But we can't have formula without formula because it's so formulaic as fuck. I mean, the first half is over when we like have Cindy and when we had Chad and Mindy come in. Remember those two survivors from Scream 5 and 6? They didn't even mention the Terra sisters. They didn't even justify it. What the fuck are you doing? Here's the thing, and Gale Weathers, they do jack shit with her. I was thinking, what happened later on in the scene, which I'll get into, let's see. And then, Tatum wore her mother's jacket from Scream 2, which is actually a pretty decent movie. And a few moments later, when they go to the mental hospital to find this supposedly Ghostface killer, which feels so contrived. This movie's forgettable as fuck. Then later on at the bar scene and stuff, when they like the forced monologue about the Scream, about like no Scream Queen deserves a happy ending and stuff. I'm singing bullshit. That's why no wonder why you cast like the main star Jamie Lee Curtis right here in every Halloween movie, including Halloween Resurrection, which I'll get into when I get to the Halloween Resurrection review. And then the bar kill scene when we like put a guy's head and it just like pours out blood instead of beer. That's actually a really cool kill scene. And then when Tatum realized it, when she was watching the news, and Sidney Prescott and Gale Weathers was talking about like passing the trauma through her children. I mean, like, there are moments in this movie that have a good movie in there somewhere. I mean, this is a potentially good idea. Like, talking about passing trauma through her children and stuff. Just thinking, that's actually potentially a good idea. Like, what it could happen to Sidney Prescott. But no, it just goes back to shit. It goes back to a shitty movie. And then, and this is where it gets really fucking bullshit. When Tatum was looking through the laptop and saw the whole, like, Stu Macher, realized it was her boyfriend, singing, what the fuck? It's like, you basically gave us the middle fucking finger with all this fucking bullshit. It's like, who the fuck is the red herring? And then when she was being chased by Ghostface and went to the coffee shop that Sidney Prescott owns, apparently, and she, like, blocks the door and, like, enters the combination. It's like, get the gun. She doesn't know how to gun. It's like, this is a part that really fucking pisses me off. You spent all this time, you could have just, like, bonded through the trauma of Tatum Prescott and Sidney Prescott, of the trauma that she went through. Like, teach her how to use a fucking gun. Fuck. That was a missed opportunity. Then, when Ghostface, like, went down on the floor with the bullets and everything, she was supposed to, like, shoot the Ghostface in the head and was thinking, and then just, whoop. Thinking, you missed your fucking chance. Thinking, the screenplay could have had a few more passes on that, you fucking know. Another thing is that towards the end of the, and then somewhere in the movie, like, the Sidney Prescott's husband was supposedly killed, and then realized it's not. Thinking that was a big troll to the fucking audience. Kevin Williamson was like this. What do you think of that shit, Robbie? Thinking, and then towards the end of the movie, the Ghostface killer reveal was so fucking embarrassing. I mean, like, when she walked in the house and when she saw the montage, like, of all the Ghostface, like, Stu, Billy Loomis's mother, and from Scream 2, and the character which I didn't even fucking remember from Scream 3, because Scream 3 is a big pile of steaming shit, and the ghost and the killer reveal of this movie, when they actually get into it, is fucking awful. First of all, which it's like a self-obsessed fan the reason why she wanted to do what she did to her daughter and husband is that one of the killers, that when she read through the Out of Darkness book and called her Sidney 2.0, I was thinking, didn't that already got covered in Scream 4 when Joe Roberts says new movie, new franchise, like new Sidney, new Randy and all that bullshit? Very underrated Scream sequel, by the way. Let's go on. And where Sidney Prescott shot the person in the head. And then when they shot the other person, which I don't fucking know. And then when Tatum like shoots the ghost face in the stomach and all that, she is supposedly dead. You were supposed to shoot in the head, which which screenwriting rules, motherfucker. It's like have common sense. And then Sidney and Tatum like both shot the ghost face together. I thought that was a badass scene, and the rest of the movie is complete dog shit. That's like in when they like Bonnet like called through Tatum and all that shit. And then when Sidney and then Gale Weathers, Sidney and Chad all survived, which a fucking course, because it's plot armor, motherfucker. Thinking, what the fuck? When the movie was over, and I was thinking, for 7 years I've been a fan of Scream for 7 years, and you spat on my motherfucking face with that, with constant jacking off on nostalgia, terrible script, dumb as hell decisions by the characters, badly use of the legacy characters, including Sidney Prescott and Gale Weathers, and the new characters aren't given much to fucking do, and the fact that the soundtrack is completely reused from the other films. And there's a moment in that movie that literally was taken straight out of The Strangers. Was like roaming through the kitchen, and that little killer was in the background. That was actually taken from The Strangers. Completely lack of originality. Singing, which is such a shame, because Scream was known for revitalizing the horror genre and stuff. And now it's turned into a fucking stab franchise into itself. The final rating of this movie gets an infected trash, and I am not getting this movie on Blu-ray, 4K, or DVD. I don't care if it's from Era Video. I am not getting that motherfucking DVD. For the spit on my face you did to me all throughout the whole movie, I wanted to love this movie. I genuinely do. But I just couldn't do it. The worst Scream movies include Scream 3 and this one. Even Scream 2 I do like, but it does have some boring moments. But Scream 3 and 7 can go fuck themselves. And Scream 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 are actually the Scream movies I would watch again and again. In the end, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. I'm the Rob Zone, and have a good day. Thanks for watching.